It's spinning.
There it
It's
is.
ready. Yeah, there we go. All
There
right.
it is. Bingo.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. It's Tuesday. It's 9 o'clock, so it must be time for Indie Vote Live. We got a great guest here tonight. We got a lot of guests coming on tonight. But first, we've got
That's our notification. Standards and practices is working.
that's right, they're already working. Like, you watch your mouth, Randy. You watch it and tell Varian to shut up too. And tell Lola to talk more. We have a special guest here with us tonight. We're going to talk about his book, which I have. I've got the book twice. It was the book so nice I bought it twice. I got the digital version first, and then I found the physical one, and I'm like, I'm gonna pick this up. And I brought it up on the show a couple weeks ago, but now we tricked him. He's here, and we got him here. We're gonna ask him a lot of questions about the comic con industry, especially because there's no comic cons and the business of pop culture, which is named in the book, Comic Con, the business of pop culture. We'll run the intro, and then we will catch you guys on the flip side of that. And we'll introduce ourselves, all that good stuff.
I got it.
Yep. All right, hit it.
All right, everybody, hang on. Here's the intro.
Hello, everybody out there. My name is Varian Grant. I have been making comics since the Halcyon days of 2008, Randy. Can you believe that? 2008, man. I am a comic book publisher, artist, writer, co-publisher, and co-owner of Last Call Comics, as well as the founder of Indie Vote Media LLC. And this is Indie Vote Live. As always, I am joined by the beautiful indie princess, Ms. Lola, and my partner in crime on this show gets me in a lot of trouble, or clears up a lot of trouble.
I get you in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Mr. Randy Zim. How's it going, sir?
You're always the one that's trying to trigger me.
Yeah, I am.
Hey, everybody, I'm Randy Zimmerman. I've been doing comics for probably longer than what Varian's been alive. So, done for many decades. Arrow Comics, Massive Comics, Weeby Comics. I've printed under. I'm a commercial and award-winning commercial and graphic artist whose main specialty right now is sequential art for advertising and education. And I'm also part of the Indie Volt podcast, and I have my own YouTube channel called the Zim Geek Channel, ZIMMGEEK. That it's a running gag but eventually I will have new material up there for folks to watch. So if you get over there, take a look. I have cartooning instruction, and I talk about the comic biz and all sorts of stuff. But if there's anything to be done in alternative or independent comics, I've probably done it at one point or another.
Yeah. We got Rob Salkowitz here. Rob, introduce yourself and tell everybody. Give everybody a long version of the resume.
There you go.
So my name is Rob Salkowitz. I am a writer and sayer of things about comics. As Varian pointed out, I'm the author of a book called Comic-Con and the Business of Pop Culture. Came out in 2012. And since that book came out, I am now the guy who wrote a book about Comic-Con. So I have been going to a lot of Comic-Cons. I have been moderating a lot of panels and doing that kind of thing. I write a column every couple of weeks for ICV2, which is the trade publication of the comics, gaming, and hobby industry. And I also write for a thing called Forbes. You may have heard of. So I write about, for some reason, Forbes wanted somebody to write about the business of comics and pop culture. And that was me. So I write for Forbes about media, entertainment, comics, publishing, and all that good stuff.
Cool.
And I teach at the University of Washington, and one of the classes I teach is on comics as media platform in their graduate school of communications.
Oh,
sweet.
That's cool. I've considered getting a doctorate in art because I felt like I need that title. I guys might have noticed that my tag, my name up there says Reverend Lord Varian the Kid Grant. And the funny thing is that the Reverend thing, people, is that real? Yeah, I got ordained. And then the Lord thing was because I bought a small parcel of land in Scotland. There's a very small parcel of land. It cost me $55 just so I can have the title Lord.
You're the Lord of the Manor, huh?
Yeah, one little small tiny parcel. Lola thought it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever done in my life, but Randy did too. I believe he also said
What is it? 12 inches by 12 inches, or is it 18 inches by 18 inches?
It's smaller than that.
An inch and a half by an inch and a half.
It's probably like 3 by 3.
3 by 3. Not even big enough to stand on.
Yeah, it's very small. It's very small. But I get the title Lord, so that's a cool thing. I could have bought a bigger one, but what do I need that for? I just want the title. Terrence Hall says hello, nurse. And Katrina says, hanging on. Hello, Katrina, and hello, Terrence. Thanks for joining us. I see a lot of people in the chat room are watching right now. Indie Vote Radio is booting up. We'll have those numbers soon. But so we got Rob here. And Rob, your book, Comic-Con and the Business of Pop Culture. It is probably, I think, one of the most interesting books that I've read from the aspect of you really talk about the business of how Comic-Cons are, how you can make money at a Comic-Con, how Comic-Cons are making money. You got to go into it. And I was wondering if, did you ever catch any flack when you were putting this book together?
So a little bit, because the thing is, I've been a comics fan my whole life, but I have never, up until I wrote that book, I had never been involved professionally in the business of comics. I actually come from I do marketing, and I ran a digital communications agency out here. I did some work for Microsoft. So it's like I come from the business side, and I had been writing books about things that were completely unrelated to comics or anything like that. And my wife and I would go down to Comic-Con every year, and we became friends with people in the industry, and we were out to dinner, and I was saying, I just did this book about like future of entrepreneurship, and one of my friends said, you should do a book about this place. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff going on here. And I thought, yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea, because this was right around 2010, 2011, when Comic-Con had gotten huge, and everybody had heard of it, but the whole wider world was kind of getting their first look at this phenomenon. So I thought this would be really a great topic for a book. And so for my wife and I were actually volunteers that worked at the Eisner Awards. We're on staff, so we knew some people that were involved with the Comic-Con organization. And in the time that I was writing this book, which took me about, 8 or 9 months to write the book, I kept trying to get in touch with the Comic-Con organization. And I would go through all of these channels, because at that time they were very, not very communicative, let's say. And it was very hard to get them to comment about anything. And I would send all these notes around. I would be like, look, I'm writing this book about Comic-Con. It's going to be a good book for you guys. We love Comic-Con. We know what's going on here. Could we please get somebody on the record to just talk about some of the stuff from your perspective on it? And we never heard, they didn't even say no. They wouldn't have anything. They didn't say anything about it. And then the next year or two later, after the book came out, we were at the Eisner Awards. My wife and I were sitting at the staff table, and this guy comes over, and he is I later found out he was the president of Comic-Con. He was the chairman or something. His name was John Rogers. And he looks at my badge. He says, "Oh, you're the guy that wrote the book." I said, "Yes." And I thought he was going to say, "You'll be hearing from our lawyers." But he said, "Oh, we loved it." He said, "We gave copies out. We bought a whole box of them and gave them out to everybody in the office." It's the first time I had ever heard that anybody at Comic-Con even knew what I was doing or acknowledged it or anything like that. Because they are, they're a nonprofit, but they're a private organization. They own that trademark. And if you, as the people in Salt Lake City found out, if you use that trademark in ways that they don't like, you will be hearing from them. So I'm kind of glad that, but for a while, my publisher wasn't sure, nobody was sure if we could actually do that.
I'm glad that you got away with it. I'm glad that he didn't give out, because we've been joking about that. We've been joking about people having, taking liberties with names and characters lately. It's been a running theme for the last 2 weeks. Yeah. But I'm glad you didn't get that much flack from this. So your book, I think, if you're making money or you intend to make money in the pop culture space, I think it's a must read. I'm not just saying that because don't worry, he hasn't given us any affiliate links or anything. I think that I think it's a must read, and I think it's important because even inside the book, there are things about we can predict what we were going through now because there are no cons. But and that's actually a question we have coming up pretty soon. But did you, in the book, did you ever think that like maybe there's too many cons?
No, because at that time there was San Diego Comic-Con. It was getting 140,000 people or so, and even New York Comic-Con was not that big of a deal at that time. It was probably maybe getting 50 or 60,000 people. So there wasn't, there was San Diego at the very top, and then there was all of these little shows that were happening, and then a lot of them had been going on, since the 60s or 70s. So what was interesting about San Diego Comic-Con is the way they drove all of this stuff from the edges of the nerd culture that we all know and love into the center of popular culture. In the 21st century, all of a sudden, in the 80s and 90s, if you were into comics, it was not, a mainstream thing. And then all of a sudden you're walking around and everybody's got like a Flash logo on their shirt, or everybody knows all about Iron Man and the Avengers because millions and millions of people have seen this stuff. So I think that one of the things I was trying to get to in the book is explain actually the San Diego Comic-Con itself had a big role in how comics went into the mainstream of the entertainment world. And I also wanted in the book to explain the little rituals and intricacies of con culture as we had known and loved it growing up in the old days to the people that were just coming to it for the first time. We would see it on TV and say, man, what's with all these people dressed up in costume? And, why is Steven Spielberg talking to a room full of fans? Like that was a whole new thing in the whole mode of interaction. They're like, what's going on with this? So in the book, my main goal with it was to explain to the business world and the commercial world and the consumer world at large, hey, this is this really cool culture that we've developed, that creative people sitting by themselves at their drawing boards, working on issue after issue, month after month, year after year, have built into this thing that's taken over. Yeah. That's a cool story. And the fact that the book has now become useful to people that are trying to come into the industry or to companies. Like every once in a while I get a call from they're representing a company in China that's interested in buying a American comic company, and they want to know like all about the market and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's introduced that possibility to a whole range of people that would not have considered it.
Terrence Hall says Comic-Con has expanded to more than just comic books. I remember when comics were a niche medium, and he's right. Yeah, I mean, I remember some of my first Comic-Cons. I went to the Comic-Con for the comics and just to be around, people who were making comic books. As a fan, I walked in there, and then I discovered they had a back row with all these adult stars in it. For some reason, a priority of mine shifted. It was like, find that rare issue of Wolverine that I need, or go meet, at this point, Dazzle Del Rio, or one of the other models. So
when I was, 10 or something like that, in 1976, a kid in Philadelphia, and they were having a Comic-Con in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, across the river. So I begged my dad would he take me to this Comic-Con. It was in this tiny little motel, like hotel complex. Maybe there was 1,000 people there. Yeah. And the theme was, so Conan the Barbarian was a really popular comic at that time, and they had just spun off Red Sonja from Conan. So Red Sonja was like the big property, right? And Red Sonja in her chainmail bikini. So that was the theme of this convention. And there were all of these cosplayers there cosplaying Red Sonja. So my dad was very skeptical about taking me to this comic convention. He sets foot in there. He starts looking around. He's like, yeah, I think I'm going to hang around here for a little while. You go look at the comic books. So I'll be right here. From then on, I never had any trouble going to getting my dad to take me to Comic-Cons.
I see. I got a question here that's right. Someone sent this in actually when we let everyone know that Rob was going to be on the show, and this from Keith G. Keith G writes in, well, Randy reads all these questions. Go ahead. Randy?
Long-time watcher, first-time commenting. There's not a whole lot of Comic-Cons here in the Great White North, Canada. Far less than in the States, anyway. But I got to say, even if a con were being held at this very hour, I would not attend as a creator or otherwise to offset the missing income I've started. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't put that right. I gotta say, even if a con were being held at this very hour, I would not attend as a creator or otherwise, period. To offset the missing income, I've started working rideshare and other app-based delivery jobs. Keith G., thanks so much for writing in.
Now, I did write to Keith G. I asked him if he was a creator or a
or otherwise.
Yeah, and he told me that he does. He makes a small comic. He says very small print runs, but he doesn't feel safe to go to Comic-Con right now, even there was one.
Not alone. I mean,
yeah.
People were asking me about this, when it looked in maybe May and June that we might have things open up, and they said, well, do you think that we could have Comic-Cons, with less people and it would be socially distant? I said, have you ever been to a Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Even if you only had 5,000 people there, they would all be around the Funko table like with the exclusive, right? You cannot social distance in that environment. And as long as, the plague is out there, I mean, it's first of all, no organizer would want the liability of doing it. Nobody. I mean, can you imagine how bad you would feel if you went and you ended up getting your favorite creator sick or something like that? That. I mean, even if you don't care about your own health, there's a lot of other people in that situation. So I do a lot of advising. I do a lot of work for the events industry. And all of that dried up at the beginning of the year. I mean, I might do rideshare myself now, but for the missing revenue, it's a huge chunk and it's a serious business. And there's a lot of people. There's exhibitors that I know that make 50% of their money at conventions, face-to-face transactions. That has all gone away, and it's a very, very tough situation. And what may end up happening, which would be even worse than what's going on now, is that some of the organizations that do multiple Comic-Cons that are businesses, if they go bankrupt, because they don't have any money coming in, they got to pay their people. That organization goes away. Then somebody else has to start up that Comic-Con. They got to negotiate all the contracts. They got to go, all of the costs that have been invested in making a show that's been around for 7 or 8 or 10 years, that's a successful show, is going to have to be reinvested in a new show to make that successful. So that's, it's no laughing matter. It's a really tough moment for the live events industry, but not just Comic-Cons, but any trade shows, art exhibits, all that stuff. Music is,
a couple of musicians I know, they had to cancel all their gigs, and they're like, I don't know if they pushed their albums back, and it's rough. I do want to ask you about where you think the future of Comic-Cons is going, but there's one other question here from, there you go, Randy.
Call me Al. Thanks for writing in. What are the chances that cons will lower their cost across the board, exhibitor to attendee, in 2021? I think it's smart to do so, as most people are going to have to tighten budgets after this unprecedented shutdown. Good thought, Al.
I talked to Lola about this earlier. I read that question to Lola, and she said she laughed, and she said they're not gonna lower prices. But we had a discussion, and I thought, I was talking to a promoter who told me that he's a little upset because the celebrities that he had booked, he only had 2 celebrities booked, but they will not cancel, or they will not waive their guarantee.
Ooh.
They felt they have a pay or play guarantee, and he needs to, stand.
World would be a nicer place if people were, reasonable and would accommodate each other's reasonable requests about stuff. But that's why there's lawyers. And I would like to think that certain shows, I think, are going to be going out of their way to do nice stuff for the fan. I don't know if they'll lower their prices necessarily, but they'll create all kinds of good incentives to get you back when the time comes to get you back. And frankly, I think that a lot of fans, as soon as it's safe, will show up. They're not going to need permission. So whether people can afford it, whether the economic consequences of this are going to be long lasting and everything is hard to say. But interestingly, the celebrity side of this is the one aspect that seems to be doing okay because events have figured out a way to host celebrity meet and greets online as a paid event.
Yeah.
And it's good for the fan because they get their 90 seconds with William Shatner or whatever, for the same $250, $300. Shatner doesn't have to travel. He doesn't have to leave his house. The convention's promoters don't have to mount a whole show and deal with exhibitors and vendors and all this other stuff. They just have this thing online. They set up a platform for it. And I know GalaxyCon, which is a very good organization that runs regional shows, has been doing that very successfully. WePop, Wizard World, a lot of the shows that can figure out a way to monetize that end of it is working out. And it gives the fans something. Like my wife is a huge Star Trek fan, and they'll have a panel that's free, and they'll have all the whole cast of Next Generation, let's say, for an hour, and on a Zoom, and it'll be like it'll be a panel conversation. People can come on. It's a fun thing, and that's free. You don't have to buy anything else after that. So
Right.
she does that, and then she's not interested in any of the other stuff, so that's fine. But for the fans that want, Jonathan Frakes to record a greeting for your phone or something like that, that is possible. That's the one thing that you can do.
Yeah, I would. I had this idea. I said, why don't you just tell them? I was gonna tell you what, you were gonna be at my show for 2 days or whatever, for 6 hours. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a 2-day long 6-hour interview on my YouTube. I'm trying to make some money, get this money back. But some of those, and I know right now we have on Indie Vote Radio, we are at 53,823 people. And I want to thank.
We appreciate all of you.
Yeah, I want to thank the UK. I want to thank. I want to thank Paris. I want to also thank Mexico for tuning in. Thank you guys. Now, and if you guys don't know what a guarantee means, because I've just seen that come across Indie Vote Radio, what a guarantee means is that when you have a high-end actor, well, I shouldn't say high-end, but when you have high-end actors come up, they are generally people that they require money. They need their money up front.
Yeah, they're promised a bottom line return for their time. They have to schedule that time to be at the show. They're guaranteed a certain amount of money. But they also sell
some of these guys will blow past their guarantee.
Yeah.
On selling autographs and things like that. So I know the Walking Dead cast makes money hand over fist at these things. They bring the money back in duffel bags after these shows are over. So. But in the case that doesn't happen, then the organizer has a guarantee.
Joe Cotton says, "What's up, Randy? Hi, Lola.
Hey,
Hello.
Joe. Thanks for listening.
Evening, Mr. Crockett. That's me. I'll take it. My David Crockett hat. Ralph Griffith says, way back in the old days of Fantastic Con at the Sansuchi
Hall in Southeast Michigan. Yeah, it was just comics. One guy showing anime tapes on a TV. Says he'd lug from home. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing some TVs set up like that at Comic Cons, the old TVs. So yeah, it's really weird. Yeah. Katrina is saying hello to Ralph. Contracts, says Ralph. Yeah. You got to have those contracts in there. So, Rob, you've immersed yourself in the business of the industry, in the business of pop culture. Again, we talked about being unprecedented. Where do you think it's at when we come out of here? Do you think there's a because Randy always says he has this thinks is that the biggest what is it, Randy? The really innovative periods of our industry is from someone getting screwed over usually.
Yeah, our business always seems to grow on top of the previous person getting the back end of the stick or being screwed.
Yeah.
So there's always somebody creative that comes in, finds a way to get around it, and then the entire industry ends up evolving.
Do you see another evolution because of the shutdown when it comes to Comic Cons? Because that, and I want to also get the second part of that question is, what's your feeling on online Comic Cons? So,
in terms of the industry, the whole thing that's going on right now, what makes this different from like if those of you remember, like in the late 90s, the whole comics industry crashed because of things having to do with the comics industry. Like people were buying up boxes and boxes of issues that they thought were going to go up in value. And it was just like this kind of goofy stuff that was going on, but it was all inside. And the crash that happened because of that was pretty much our own fault. Like anybody that was involved in that at that time, they say, yeah, it's too bad that happened, but that's on us. This is on nobody. Like nobody prior to this was making a lot of business mistakes. In fact, I just saw the numbers. Comics in 2019 hit a record $1.2 billion for the comics publishing industry in North America. That was up about 11 or 12% from the year before, and it's a huge increase over the last 10 years. So the business was doing fine. Fans were buying comics, publishers were publishing comics, creators were getting paid for comics. All of that stuff is still there. Like creators still have stories to tell, fans still want to read them. The people that are in the business side of it want to be in that business. So I think, there's a lot of stuff that's, I'm not trying to like wave my hands and say, oh, this is all going to go away overnight. But I think that the fundamentals of what makes this a good business are still there. And it's more than ever because I think a lot of younger people, and particularly a lot of young women that are developing their skills doing comics on Instagram and Tumblr and things like that, those stories are still coming out. Those things are still finding readers. So I think everything is going to come back sooner or later because nothing in the underlying side of it is wrong. What's wrong is stuff that can be fixed on the outside or it can't. But it's a separate issue from the business itself. So that's the thing that's making me relatively optimistic in the long run. Mm-hmm. What was the second half of your question? Sorry.
Second half is, how do you feel about online cons? There's been a lot of those because there were online cons before the shutdown, but now that we've had the shutdown, even the big guys are jumping into the online cons. What's your feeling on those?
Yeah, it's like if you're under 20 feet of water and breathing through a straw, like that's not great, but it's better than not having a straw.
Yeah.
So, it's the hand we're dealt. And I take my hat off to San Diego Comic-Con in particular because they did their online version without any prospect of revenue or anything. They just did it because they wanted to. They knew that a year without any kind of a Comic-Con was too depressing to think about. They got hundreds of people to participate in panels, including me and a whole bunch of other people that just kind of sat down and did them by Zoom to get the word out there. And the funny thing is that the panels when I do comic panels at Comic-Con, if I get 150 people in the room, like that's a big deal. Like,
yeah,
I am not holding down Hall H at Comic-Con. The panels that I did that on YouTube got thousands of views, like 8,000 or 9,000 views for a panel on, teaching comics in higher education with me and a bunch of like other comics pros that teach in university. So people wanted that stuff. So okay, it's good. I'm glad they're doing it. It's also important for the entertainment world to have an anchor point in their calendar to say this is when we're making all of our announcements. So that didn't happen as much this year, but it happened a little bit. Mm-hmm. So that was still there for them. So that side of it is good. And the stuff we were talking about with the conventions that are running celebrity, meet and greets and the free panels and all of that kind of thing, that's all, there's enough fan interest. And frankly, there were people that were starting to do that before all of this happened. Like that was a business model that people were starting to explore even before it became necessary. So I think that's still going to be a thing even after all this is done. Mm-hmm. Because we have proven out that people can make a lot of money. Fans can get a good experience without, flying, staying in a hotel or driving for 6 hours and waiting in line and all of this stuff. So it does solve some of the problems on that side of the business. So, would I rather be at a show looking at dealers and going through back issue bins? Hell yes, of course. And getting sketches in my sketchbook and all the stuff that we love to do at cons is irreplaceable that you can't do online, of course. But something is better than nothing, and that's kind of what we got right now. So I take my hat off to the people that are going to the trouble of putting these things on because they really are for fans. It's hard to see a really great business justification for doing it.
Mm-hmm. Terrence it says in the future, publishers might start doing their own virtual cons.
Yeah.
I could see that happening. And Patrick Lord Demand says
cons are going to find ways to do more online, to be more immersive, less hassles. Movie studios are starting to do it. Disney is releasing Mulan to Disney Plus.
Yeah, now I understand that Disney Plus thing they're going to do is actually the movie's supposed to cost you $30.
Yeah.
So it's not like,
at least initially, yeah.
Yeah, it's not on here. It's on here, but for a fee.
Yeah.
Well, they spent $500 million to produce that movie.
Yeah.
They're going to take a bath no matter what. I mean, this is more of a, and the Wonder Woman movie that's been sitting in the can. Those movies were scaled for a box office distribution to make $1.5 billion at the global box office, and you just can't squeeze that into a it's like you've got a keg of beer and you're trying to squeeze the whole thing into a 6-pack. Not going to fit. So they need to make that money back somehow. But as to the virtualization of conventions, I'm involved in a couple of projects. I've heard from a bunch of entrepreneurs who are doing startups. They're trying to bring conventions into virtual reality. So if those, Oculus and these platforms where you can be more immersive. But the point that Terrence raised about the individual companies doing their own shows, that is a thing. And I think that for a long time, or at least for a while, Warner Brothers, Disney, Hasbro, these gigantic companies have resented might be a strong word, but they like to have full control of their brand and the experience that their fans have. And when they go to San Diego or New York or to one of these big shows, they're one of the millions. Like, they have shelf space. If you go back to the video game aisle, there's Microsoft and Sony across the aisle from each other, staring bullets at each other over that aisle. Because that's conventions are Switzerland. Nobody has control of them. And I don't think they like that very much. I think if they had their druthers, they would say, let's do Disney has D23. Warner Brothers is now having this fandom thing online. If they were to try and do that in real life, I think it would be problematic, because I think if you ask a fan, would you rather go to an event that only has one vendor that's running everything? Or would you rather go to a kind of con where you have now, we've got a whole diversity of stuff and lots of different experiences and all of these different companies bidding for your attention? For a fan, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But right now, that's not on offer. People cannot go to that kind of show. So if Warner Brothers wants to do their own event, and they have an online event, which is cheap for them to set up, they've got control of all the talent. They can debut all of their stuff in this controlled environment, and fans can show up, because why not?
Yeah.
Then next year, if they want to do that in real life, they've already got the ball rolling. They don't have to start from zero. They've already got a list of millions of people that are going to go and check that out, that they can then say, hey, let's do it in real life next year. And that gives them a little foot in the door against the bigger conventions that may lead to some changes in the industry that, frankly, from a fan perspective, would not end up being that good.
Jason Moore says, Rob, are those custom-bound comics on the shelves behind you? LOL, just curious.
They certainly are, in fact.
Are they really? Oh, awesome.
They are. Let's see. So I went on eBay, I don't know, about 10 years ago, I went and did this. So this is a collection of heavy metal. So I went and I bought the first 5 years of heavy metal on eBay for like, I don't know, $30 or something like that.
Yeah.
For some reasonable price. And there's a bookbinder here that does them for $25 a volume. So I've got stacks and stacks. I've got like DC reprints and stuff. I kind of went nuts with it.
That is awesome.
So I thought, why should I pay $50 for like a pre-printed cheap paperback or something like that, when I could have my own.
Your own set, your own collection.
These are my graphic novels.
That's sweet. That's
good
awesome.
eye, Jason. Good eye.
Yeah. Well, I was noticing the Big Brother and the Holding Company album art that you have back there by Robert Crumb. That's awesome.
So it looks like that. It's actually Angoulême, the big European comic convention in France, had Crumb as a guest in the year 2000, and he did a poster for it. So that's a print of the poster.
Cool.
Actually, a guy at my local comic shop gave me. He said somebody brought this in, and we don't know what to do with it. Do you want it? I'm like, hell yeah. If you look very closely at it, there's some not safe for work stuff on that poster.
Oh,
so
yeah. Yep.
I have this over my shoulder on all these
It's
media interviews.
It's good to see it from
I'm
a
hoping
distance.
that people don't like zoom in too close.
You're all right. If anybody really wants to see it, they can always Bing it or do an image search. Jason says, "Nice. Which binding company do you use? I've been thinking about doing that with some of mine."
It's it's a local company here in Seattle called Phil's Bindery, and it's a family-run operation. I go in there with a stack of comics, and a few weeks later, I come back and pick up a bunch of books. People, like the hardcore collectors, they go nuts. They're like, "What are you kidding? Like, you're doing the condition of these." I'm thinking, what would you rather have, like individual issues or a one-of-a-kind, custom-bound book?
That sits on your shelf forever. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
that you can pull out for reference whenever you need it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that if you look in your local directory, you'll find there are these small businesses that do this kind of thing, and surprisingly affordable, and they're really cool and nice.
Yeah.
Terrence says, "How many copies of Heavy Metal do you have?"
I got the first 5 years, whatever that is. So it's bound in four or five volumes, and it's I love all that. I love the that's what blew my mind when I was a kid.
Yeah,
60 issues, something like that.
Rob Anderson also says,
Jason gives you 2 thumbs up. Where is it? Sorry, I didn't step on you.
Rob says the in-person experience can't be replaced digitally with current tech. It will take next level VR. Yeah, I agree. I think next level VR is going to have to come in there. And I've seen some people toy with some technology that could help, but for me, it's still nothing like going to a con.
No.
And luckily, we've been seeing lately where people are taking the business. I mean, listen, Rob may have to do a different book pretty soon. He may have to do crowdfunding comics in the business of pop culture, because some people are making money outside of going to Comic Cons now with crowdfunding. That it's almost like we talked about it before on the show, where some people have rolled in and said, I won't go to a Comic Con now. I have to pay to do that, and I'm gonna make a couple $100, maybe $1,000 or $2, whereas I can sit at home on my computer and make
watch the Nitwittery on YouTube. Yeah.
It's funny you should mention that, because somebody, I do book reviews and I write this column and everything. So publicists hit me up with stuff. And just yesterday, I heard about this new book called The Business of Independent Comic Book Publishing. It's a new book coming out by, Gamal Hennessy. And I think it's Gamal and not Jamal, because it's with a G. But
I think it's Gamal. Yeah, I think it's, yeah.
Anyway, he's crowdfunding this book right now, so they sent me a copy to review, and I looked it over, and this guy is a lawyer, and it's like, so my book is kind of like a conceptual, like here's what's going on, and it's sort of the 10,000 foot view. This is a street map. This is, here's how to set up at a convention. Here's what a contract looks like.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who wrote it is an attorney. So there's a lot of good resources. There is a book out that I saw on the shelf. I can't plug the author quite as thoroughly as this, because I don't remember it, but I saw it on the shelf about crowdfunding comics, and it looks, or it's like how to run a $100,000 Kickstarter, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very useful, because crowdfunding is one of the ways that we're going to get through this.
Yeah.
Now, get through it.
I know our time with you is winding down, so I'm gonna pop in. Our next guest is coming in. She's been waiting patiently in the green room, eating all the Cheetos in the green room. I'm gonna bring her in just for a bit here, so I know as you're getting ready to segue out, we'll have her, and she may even have some questions. Hello, Miss Shin.
Hello, how's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. Christy Chin joining us, Horror Tour Studios. I'm horrible at pronouncing that.
Thanks for coming on board. Thanks for waiting.
Yeah, thanks for waiting. We got Rob Salkowitz here, who's the author of Comic-Con and the Business of Pop Culture. And again, I've been stalking him on the internet for quite a while now, so I finally tricked him enough times to get him on the show.
And by the way, I apologize for having to cut out early. Let's say I owe you an hour. I'm really digging this conversation. I love your listeners.
We love having you on. Yeah.
If I haven't worn out my welcome here, if you want to have me back, I would be happy to.
Cool, yo, love to have you back.
Yeah.
And
it's been good having you, Rob.
Yeah, I know that our listeners right now, we're up to, Randy, up to 59,666, which is why we brought Christy in. We got, but then we 59,660 people listening right now. Want to thank you guys on Indie Boat Radio.
We should, and Cap, Rob, tell people where they can find his book, so that he can take off, and we'll cross paths again real soon. Rob, you're always welcome on the show. It's really good having you on.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, guys. So the book is in print at on Amazon or at your local bookstore if it's open. It's been in the market for a long time now, so it's might be a special order item. I'm not sure that they have copies on the shelf.
I think it's still available. I was just on Amazon earlier. But,
it is available.
Yeah.
If you totally can't find a copy of it, shoot me a note. So the best place to find me is on Twitter at Rob Salk, ROBSALK. And you could be like Lord Varian and stalk me on the internet. And usually I, in between like going crazy because of politics and weird stuff, tweets, I will talk about the stuff that I'm, so you can find if I'm writing for Forbes or for ICV2 or Publishers Weekly, if I have new books coming out or other stuff that you're interested in, check that out. That's probably the best place to keep track of what I'm up to.
Is your column weekly on ICV2?
Comes out every other week. There was just one today about the Twilight of Superhero Comics.
Okay.
That's on ICV2.com.
That's ICV2.com.
Yep.
And then Forbes.com. I don't know. I don't know offhand. And then I have a website at robsalkowitz.com that has not been updated in a really, really, really embarrassingly long time.
I know how that goes.
Digital level right now. So just follow me on Twitter. That's probably the best way.
We will allow you to write for ICV2 and Forbes. Just know if you ever post an article over at Bleeding Cool, we're going to talk bad about you.
I think they like me about as much as I like them. So,
then you are a friend of the show. Then it's all good.
Very nice to meet you, Christy.
Nice to meet you too, man.
All right, Rob. Well, you can get out of here. Thanks for being on. We appreciate it. Again, everyone, that is Rob Salkowitz. He is the author of Comic-Con, the Business of Pop Culture. Get the book. It's on digital too right now. If you got an Amazon account,
audio book too, even I think.
Audio book as well. Yeah. It's
Rob,
pretty cool.
thanks a lot for coming on. We appreciate you.
Oh, it's a
Love
pleasure.
your input.
Great show, guys.
All right.
Thank you, Rob. We'll see you soon.
Yep. You take care. We'll see you. That was Rob Salkowitz, everybody.
And now that
the author of the Comic-Con and the Business of Pop Culture.
And now that Christy's here. Christy's here. And I see Mike Oden's back. Let me go up to TVMA. There we go. No, Christy, that's usually there. That's definitely usually there.
Randy dropped out.
Yeah, Randy dropped out, but we'll bring him back. He probably hit the wrong button. I see Michael Oden in the back. We'll pop Michael Oden in. Hello,
I
Michael.
see you popped on TVMA just for my arrival there, Varian.
So,
What are you trying to say, man?
It's actually for what?
That was my fault. I hit the wrong button.
It's actually because me and Christy curse like sailors. So
do you? So it's all good. It's all good.
Hi, Christy. Pleasure to meet you.
Hey, how's it going? And your name was again? I kind of blurbed out a bit.
It's no problem. Michael Oden.
Michael Oden. We call him Moden.
Yeah.
Thanks, Randy. You're a saint.
So do you guys mind? Some of the questions we had, we didn't read when Rob was here because.
And it's nice to see your bookshelves too, Moden. It's good to see.
Yeah.
I've upgraded from how I would normally do my stream. So now I'm in pseudo office setting for the time being until the next move. So
cool.
Like the messiest fuck shit up there with all my crap piled up. So I'm just like,
oh my god, Randy wasn't kidding. Swearing like
I love it.
It's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's just like I have papers and shit, and I gotta get another bookcase and organize it. But this is way more organized than what it's ever been. So, yeah.
One of these days, I'll take a camera around my basement here and put you all to shame.
Pulling out trash back here and everything. No, it's not garbage. It's just prints and shit that I gotta.
I have the sheet up just so you don't see all the crap back behind it. So.
Yeah, occasionally I'll message Randy in the morning and I'll send him a stream here. We'll just talk and he'll have the curtain down and I'm just looking over his shoulder like,
What the heck is that?
What are you doing?
Oh, hey, Katrina, nice to see you again.
Yeah, Katrina says,
Hey, Katrina, your book is on the way. I just sent it in today.
I'm sure she'll.
Buddy Lord wants to know, where'd the smart guy go? It's right here. It's right here.
By two dumb people like that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
For myself.
We so there were some questions
Our
that
live studio horde. Anyway,
we didn't bring in some questions because I didn't want to scare poor Rob Salkowitz with some of the questions we got.
He had never seen the show before, so we warned him.
Oh, God.
I, however, have no.
So that's why he agreed to come on. He'd never seen it before.
We didn't want to chase him off. Yeah, he's like, how often have you been doing this thing?
I, however, have none of those same predilections for the two of you, so I will bring these questions in, and you guys feel free to answer them. Some of them are spicy. Randy,
did we get one from our favorite dentist today?
We didn't. But
where's our corporate sponsors? By the way, are they on board?
I got a video to run at the end of the show for one of them. So yeah.
Cool, awesome.
All right, so here we go, Randy. Go ahead and read this one.
Mark Effin Wade. Mark Effin Wade. Mark Wade. What? You spelled Wade wrong. It's WAID. I find the lack of indie manga you ass boys cover disturbing. Fix this now. Mark Effin Wade.
Okay.
I grew up on Robotech and Voltron. What else do you want? Transformers too.
There you go.
I love Berserk, but like
indie manga. The last indie manga book I saw was horrible. It was horrible. The Rob presented it to me, and I was like, "What is this?" Not a person says hello, by the way. Hello, not a person.
Ready to humanize yourself.
Yeah. We send us you can always send us links.
Patrick Lord Demand says I'm not a corporate sponsor, but I play one on TV.
Yeah.
You can always send us links to stuff that you're reading. We're not reading a lot of manga.
You can send it to us. We'll take a look at it. Yeah. Indie manga. And yes, you know what I mean?
I just went for the classics like Battle Angel, Attila, Alita. There's Gray, there's Dirty Pair. Those are my jam right there. And Akira, those are my jam right there. The most recent manga that if I ever really got into is Junjo Ito shit, because that's just disturbing, and I just like seeing people just cry when they read stuff. So
the big mangas that I'm keeping up with right now are Berserk, which is a classic. It goes back to the 80s, and Vinland Saga, which is really good. It has a very similar feel.
Here we go.
Elliot. What the actual fuck is
oh my God.
with people trying to unify the fan base with the creators? Fuck that noise. Up the A. Ditko for life. You don't need to know about the color of my pubes or the birthmark on my ass to read, enjoy my creation. If you do, you're not a fan. You're a pervy ass stalker, and I'm gonna cap your ass. Wow, for showing up to my love nest.
I'm very confused. What is this?
I'm stunned. I'm stunned. The only thing I have to say about that is,
don't be mean. We don't have to be mean.
Don't be mean.
I got a question. If that's Elliot's house, would it be the Elliot's Nest?
Probably. Elliot's Nest.
Yeah, Elliot's Nest.
I don't know what to say. I think they're trying to say unify the fan base of the creators, like the creators are supposed to be your parents or something.
I think he's complaining that the creators are getting way too personal, especially with the birthmark remark.
I have no idea what any of this is in reference to. I'm kind of confused. Am I missing context here?
That's our typical reader.
Yeah.
Our typical listener. Jason Moore says, you're lucky. I'm not on the show. Jason, you're always welcome on the show. I thought you were too nervous or you didn't have the equipment or something. You'd be shut down by the censors for the language. I tend to put the F-bomb in between every other word. Adds a nice bit of extra emphasis.
Oh, they don't know what I'm capable of.
We can handle it. We can handle it. Jason, you're welcome on this show anytime you want to come on.
My power.
Just
Buddy says,
let us know. It can be arranged.
Buddy says, manga just means comic. So technically, any comic is an indie manga. That's correct. Yeah.
It's very true.
Ralph says, send them the book. They'll check them out. We will. Terrence says, I know 2 indie manga. One is called Apple Black and the other is called Sacred. Katrina says, if that's how you act, I bet your love bus is pretty lonely.
Whoa. Dig on Elliot.
Terrence says, the creators of both have YouTube channels. Cat says, but hey, it's nice to know you have a birthmark. Not a person says, makes the words pop. Yeah, when you add that fuck between, it's like
that F between, yeah.
Reminds me of the dick pics I get sometimes.
Do you get dick pics?
Oh, I do occasionally. Yeah, it's funny because I ridicule them and they stop. Then they leave me alone. Like, there was this one guy that tried to proposition me, and I kind of had a feeling, but his the language was so bad, and he only said 2 words at a time. I didn't know really what the fuck he was saying, and then very publicly he said, "Oh yeah, I'm nasty. I could take it. I'm smart." I'm like, "Oh, this shit. Okay." One of my friends was kind of having a bad week at work, so I messaged him. I said, "Hey, you want to have some fun?" And so my friend's like a bald-headed dude, and he's got a goatee, and he's a big dude. So he went up to the guy, and he says, "Like, I'll split you in half" to him. And I just said, "Yeah, he's shaved and clean. You want to give him a go?" And then finally, the guy just went like, "You and your friend go away."
Patrick says swearing is talking in cursive.
Mm-hmm.
I should write "fuck" really nicely too.
Buddy says, I get it. It's a roundabout way of saying F purity test.
F purity test.
I remember that stupid shit in college. Like, we would take the purity test and it was dumb. Why is everyone sharing Nightwing pics? I don't know. Maybe gay fan fiction time. I have no idea.
it might be time for it's always Nightwing time when they bring Nightwing and Hawkeye. They're the first 2 to come on.
We just shamed Indie Princess and deleted.
Her computer crashed. But she's standing by. She's standing by for me.
Maybe we were getting too rough beyond the TVMA.
She's not a Nightwing fan.
She just couldn't handle all that Nightwing bashing.
You know what's funny is that my first recollection of Nightwing, I literally, this is shortly before I was a kid. I think it must have been 8 or something. And when they sold comics still in supermarkets, on the rotating books so I was a kid and I wandered over and I picked up, I think Nightwing or Teen Titans. I think it was Teen Titans at the time. Mm-hmm. So I pick it up and I open it and there's Coriander's ass in my face and she's in the same bed with Dick. And guess what the hell they've been fucking doing? And I was like, what the hell? And then it was I don't remember the words. It was just he woke up. He's like, after they probably presumably most likely fucked. And then they're like, and then they start talking and then they start making out. And I'm like, okay, that was it. That's what I remember of Coriander with her big ass in my face doing that. And she still had the stripper outfit on with these huge orange tits and everything. So I was like, what the hell is all this shit right here as a kid? But and then it would disturb me later on to find out, oh yeah, they're only 18. I'm like much, much later, in my adult life at that time.
Was Dick only 18 in New Teen Titans? I always thought that they
were pretty young, but they were acting super adult, they were already. I mean, I know there's teen sex and shit, but it's they were putting that in it was oh yeah, hey, and it's they're a regular love couple. All right, and you're like, okay, and then later on, much later, I think at that time they were dated to be 18 years old. I'm like,
oh.
Speaking of stalkers, Michael, you had somebody at your back door.
Oh, that was I'm staying with my folks until we find our new place. So,
I do have some more questions I want to run past you guys.
Any more from Elliot?
No. Let's see here. So we have one. I'm sad Lola's not here to see this one, but I'm gonna
Coriander. That's Starfire's name.
Yeah. Starfire's real name.
Alien name.
I'm sure they went through and repeated the fact that they were 18 so the book wasn't suddenly branded as kiddie porn since they were the Teen Titans.
I don't know. I
After
don't
all.
think they mentioned it. You guys
Yeah.
being turned on by comics. I can't draw a female butt without having to rub a slick and dirty out. It's a curse. I deal with it the very best I know how. Your boy Carl, I have a suggestion for you. Okay, it's quarantine. You can still go to the supermarket, get a piece of flank steak on special, put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Have fun.
There we go.
You suggest
The thing is, one of my guy friends, like one of my buddies, was guy buddies. He was like going like, I need a girlfriend. I need a girlfriend. And okay, fine. You know, you're lonely and shit and everything. And like, that's goes same things with girls too. But every 5 minutes he'd do it. He's like, I need a woman. I need a woman. And finally, I just told him that. And he had this disturbed look on his face. I said, good. And after a while, he shut the fuck up about it. He shut the fuck up after that. Like, I was done. I was like, shut up already. Fine. I know you're horny and you want to get laid. And no, he wasn't being creepy towards me. It was just, he was just saying it like, I have needs. I'm like,
Cool. Nice story, bro.
Yeah, nice story, bro. Take care of it. Yeah.
that's pretty funny though. The steak. Tomorrow, thanks, Christine. Tomorrow there's gonna be a run on steak.
Hey, afterwards, you could probably wash it off and put it on the grill. I'm sure.
Oh,
It'll knock all the bacteria off. Yeah, sure.
Hey, you're practicing responsible quarantine, right? It's your own DNA.
no,
Have sex?
Have your nut and dinner too. Is that what
boneless.
what are you doing? Nutting, grilling.
I'm putting it on my
Grilling.
salt. I'm going to put it on my salt pot. You want to come over?
So here's Anon did right back in.
Mhm.
Here we go. Randy, don't snap.
Don't snap. Anon again. Anon. I find it quite comical that you all have said comics should be about entertainment, cheap, disposable entertainment, and want to bitch and complain that a book doesn't show up in pristine, slabby-ready condition. Is this the same Anon that was talking last time about shipping his books, lazily shipping his books?
It is.
Is this just like a hiding name for Nick Gibson?
I don't know.
No, I
Is
don't
that what this is? It's just like Nick Gibson is like, well, they won't pay attention to anything I write in if I put it under my name. So I'm just going to complain about the fact that everyone hates me because I can't fulfill a book like a responsible adult.
Yeah.
I totally would put his name up there if it was him, but no, Anon keeps writing in. And here's the problem, Anon. Listen, when I go to KFC, okay, I know that I'm gonna fuck that chicken up. Okay, I know that I'm gonna leave bones and gristle in the box. Okay, and I know that's gonna sit in my stomach and it's gonna turn to poop and I'm gonna poop it out. Now, imagine if I open that same box and someone beat me to it. Imagine if there's turds in my box. That's exactly what you do when you ship a book and it's damaged. Give me the opportunity to fuck said book up. When you've done it for me and shipping it, now I can't do it. I want it in pristine condition. Just like you promised to me it was going to come.
So this is Anonymous's first time having anal sex with a woman. Is that it? Because that's what I'm getting from this.
He's looking for
the fact that
slab-ready
you said
condition.
Anon. It's like anonymous. You're trying to hack my ass or something. Just like, what the hell? Like, nah. Like, I think, next time, dish out more money and get a good call girl, not a fucking crack whore. Like, don't pay $5 for her to eat your ass.
Jeez.
Wow.
I guess my only thing with this is just even if you're trying to say like cheap disposable entertainment, like, which I don't think anyone here has ever claimed comics to be. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
I have in the past.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Randy.
That's not the current crowdfunding scene, though. The current crowdfunding scene
not
is
at
not
all.
cheap or disposable.
And that's the whole thing, especially when it comes down to indie creators. We ask like we put prices on our stuff, and it is on the pricier side, but on the other end of that, we provide a product that's well worth every penny. And that's the whole point, is that if you're going to be doing that, you have a responsibility to the people that invested in you. Otherwise, how are you going to expect them to return that investment over and over and over again?
Katrina writes, learn how to spell Anon. It's pristine, Pristine. Clearly, you'd know that if you knew how to ship a comic.
Looks like,
Yeah.
looks like
Love you,
somebody.
Katrina. Your book's
Don't-
on mail.
At least he didn't do your shit. That annoys the hell out of me. Or the hell out of me. Or there. It's like, please learn how to fucking read an actual book.
When they come in,
I know how to spell.
Speaking of Katrina, we are now joined by Katrina Rotes from Cat Scratch Studios.
Hello.
It's funny. Rob says, actually, Nick Gibson's very much like shit. When you touch it, you want to wash your hands and never look back at it. I don't know if it's him writing in, but it's definitely someone who has taken quite a bit of offense to just running comics
It's
received in good condition.
If it's not him, it's his one and only fan.
Somebody is not able to wrap his head
I don't
around
mind that I got my book crumpled.
if it's not him, it's somebody who can't wrap his head around a simple education and the way that things go. That's all.
Yeah.
Buddy Laura says, I will gladly take a shit in the box and send posters to A9. I got time.
All right, I'm gonna.
Make sure you eat multicultural foods. You got to have Mexican food. You got to have the soul food, and then you got to have the Indian food. Then you got to
that's right.
have
You gotta get-
the white bread American food with white bread, brisket, and beans, and like just shit all in the box. And just send
Lots of fiber.
Send it to him.
No, absolutely no fiber. Absolutely no fiber. The less
fiber.
fiber there is, the better.
The better. Wow.
Cupcakes.
I want to take a look at something, guys. I
Fan base, it's what you need.
let's look at someone's website. This is the website of Miss Christy Shan. Now,
Awesome.
she's a Ringo Award winner. That's right. She's classed up the joint. There's only one person on this panel for a Ringo Award, and it's Christy. The rest of us, we got shit. We got nothing. Christy, first of all, we know we didn't really introduce you, but tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah.
Because right now on the radio, that we got 60. Actually, broke our 310 people listening right now. They are very pissed at us too.
We appreciate all of you. Thanks so much for listening in.
What? Tell us a little about yourself. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Well, I'm a comic creator. I'm the creator of Demon Bitch. I'm an artist and quote unquote writer, even though I'm primarily an artist. And I live in LA, and I just draw really fucked up, awful shit. And I created this character of Demon Bitch because it was based off girls I hate because they were cunts to me. And I started making fun of them in this book. There you go. So yeah, this is the first book, and you can go to my shop, and I'll send you a signed copy of it as well once you buy it. I do have an Amazon link, but I have a personal store with a store of books, so I will sign books and send them to you.
Cool.
And so Demon Bitch is a low life character. She's a low level demon from the 13th pit of hell, where people throw their dog shit in gum wrappers. And she wants to bring the second coming of Armageddon, but the first one never happened because she's stupid. She's distracted by promiscuous sex and hard drugs. And she frequently overdoses, does shit that would kill normal human beings, and often gets beaten up and never learns anything from it. And she's a constant attention whore.
So you met my
It's amazing.
You met my ex-girlfriend. Okay, let's see. You met her.
Oh yeah.
And this is your website, Horror
Yeah.
Tour Studios. Now,
Horatora Studios.
she's got so much stuff here, and you got stuff on Webtoon as well, which we always talk about Webtoon on this show. We talk about Webtoon. A lot of people, I think Dreaded Dinosaur and me are the only people who have those accounts. But you got Demon Bitch up there.
I've got a webtoon. I'm actually about to go subscribe to that right now
Sweet.
Yay.
because
Yeah.
it sounds hilarious. I'll probably be getting the book when I can too. But like that genuinely sounds awesome.
It does.
Oh,
yeah.
it's written with piss and hatred, more hatred than piss. There's probably vomit on there too. I
So
don't
long
know.
as hey man, passion doesn't have to be like, I
Pretty.
love something. You can passionately hate somebody, and if that comes through on the book, I'm all down.
Oh,
Sure,
it's tough as hell. Like, it's funny. One girl, okay, so they were in the table next to me, and I don't like to poach people's shit on the table, right? She was with her boyfriend. She kept looking at me like, at the book. And her boyfriend was talking to the guy. I said, look, I'm not trying to go steal the other dude. But, you know, if you want to read the book while you're waiting for him, if not, that's cool. You can just come here. And she's like, oh, no, he's busy. So she reads it. She's like, what's it about? And then I said, oh, it's petty as fuck. It's about a girl I fucking hate. and then like her boyfriend or significant other was like, came up and said, hey, baby, what's going on? He bought the stuff from the other guy. So it wasn't like I stole anybody's sale or something. I understand. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, hey, baby, what's going on? And she's taking out her backpack, trying to fish out her money. She's like, going, babe, you got to read this. You got to read this. I mean, it was like,
that
wow.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's just like, people are just like, the thing is, I made a bunch of characters based on people I knew in my life, especially women that were jerks to me, because women can be like a special jerks with each other in my experience. I think Kat can agree with that too.
Katrina's off camera, just shaking her head up and down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, like girls can be real cunts to each other. I'm going to say that right there. Unfortunately, that's and the thing is that I just drew this book and they're so unlikable, these characters, but it's like people read that, it's like, fuck, that happened to me. Like that. And you know, it's just, I draw that because it's like not a person that's pissed me off, because I think that's kind of petty. I know like people going, well, you draw about a girl you hate. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, is that petty? I'm like, not really, because they did a lot of shit to make me hate them. You know, for me, it's like if I'm pissed at somebody, I'm like, whatever, okay, I'm not gonna deal with it. You act like a fuck to me, then I'm gonna start hating you.
Christy, I've gone on Facebook, and I told you before, like I see the stuff you post, and I'm like, it's funny, and then I'll go to someone else's page, so presuming someone's blocked you, and they're like, "You see this shit Shin posted," blah, 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 and they'll get mad. One of the funniest things that I have to get this enamel pen, because if you see my hat, I got a lot of enamel pens on this coonskin cap of mine. I got to get this one. It's one of my favorite ones.
Oh. Actually, they're getting shipped. They're actually en route. I just got notification today. They got released. So I think it'll be a few days. So if you want to put the order in, I'll ship it to you. Yeah,
Kofik. She's thick, man. She's thick.
Never press a big button to smile. This girl is poison.
Hell of a show to start with sponsors, isn't that right, Randy?
There you go. Yes, sir.
They should know what they're getting into right up front.
Oh, they do.
Oh, I have.
What's our number? Let's reinforce that for a second.
Right now, 63,180.
That's a new record.
Yeah, new record. Let me clear with some of these questions.
Think about what you've accomplished.
Yeah.
I was thinking it.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
Exactly. L. Nolan, buddy, thanks for writing back. Isn't it amusing how we went from nobody wears a mask in a movie theater or public event to, for the love of everything sweet and holy, wear a mask?
Isn't it amusing how we went from everybody being healthy to this whole pandemic?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
This is a crisis. Sometimes, like one time I came out and I had to wear a mask, and I went up to my guy friends. I said, "You call me fucking Katana, I will kill you."
Yeah, that's gotta be rough. That's scary. Hey, you know,
I'm not a Mortal Kombat character.
Maybe my hair's shorter now, so I can do Melina, but I don't have that fucking Joker gap ass teeth that she got or something.
just have that on your mask. Just get that, and you'll be good. You're great.
I actually wanted to make the original demon bitch mask, like with a big demon bitch grin and says demon bitch. But at the time, it was going to be like if I had made those masks. I mean, I'm checking every so often because I'm very picky about the style of masks. Because for me personally, wearing them, like certain things, they are hard to breathe. Like the straight cloth ones, like in certain heat and humidity, you're like, oh, I'm being waterboarded. And even then, with the breathing valves, because I have ones with the breathing valves and it's relatively light that covers my face with a filter. It just like sometimes I'm like that at times. I'm not trying to make an excuse. It's just my personal experience. But I did come up with, like, as my friend Rose Chateau, she's in the artist Rose. She did this one. She calls it a cum rag. And I'm like, thanks, Rose. I love you too. you know, like a light covering is fine. So this is the Demon Bitch Dusty face mask, and you can tie it around like this. I'm terrible at this. Hold on. This is the first time I'm doing. God damn it. Okay, so like this, and then it was also by this wonderful quote that somebody had written, and what it was is that some person that I did not think really was intelligent to begin with wrote down, maybe someone should take DMT and talk to the coronavirus. They're like, wow, bitch. Like, if my opinion of you has not gone down, like down further, it's just like, man, you are fucking stupid. But it's like, I can't even call you like retarded. I think you're just dumb. You know, they're asinine. This is asinine. So yeah. So I actually have these up. These came a few days ago. So if anybody wants them, they can order them. I've got a decent amount.
Christy, I've from IndieBoat Radio, and I guess it's for everybody. We've kind of had a question like this before, but I'll run it around everyone. So as comic book artists and creators, you guys will be the stuff of legend one day. Thank you very much, writer. This is Amel. He says, who
Stephen Amell?
No, it's spelled quite differently.
I wish we had that on.
Who would you see playing you guys in a biopic about your life? For me, gosh, I don't know, but I'll tell you how it ends. I want it to end with me dying, even if I'm still alive. That's how I'm about to pick it. They're just horrible, and then so they can't make a sequel. No, I don't know. I've been told Donald Glover. I've been told what's his name? Finn, fucking Jason Boyega. I've been told him as well. Either I'm gonna have to lose weight or they're gonna have to gain it. Yeah, they'll have to gain it. I'm not dropping weight.
It's Hollywood. They'll just wear a fat suit.
Yeah,
great.
No, it's PG.
Yeah.
Randy, how about you? I know we joke about you and
Jesse Ventura.
I could see Bryan Cranston play him.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Suddenly I'm deeply in love with you, Christine. Thank you. That's awesome.
How about you, Christy? Who plays you?
Oh,
I don't know,
maybe Charlize Theron or fucking Daniel Day. No, I'm just kidding. No, like the most.
I would watch that movie with Daniel Day-Lewis playing you, Christy, because he would go
awesome.
all out.
Yeah, he's too fucking old
Acting.
right now. Like, come on.
He'd find a way. He's
makeup.
Maybe like he could go in, or maybe fucking Christopher Lloyd. But the thing is that like the people that think that who I look the most of is Sandra Oh, and I'm like, why? I don't look anything like her. The fuck. And then maybe I could see somebody play Aquafina, but I think she's a little young and too like nebbishy. I'm not anything that way. I mean, again, you're acting, but her Aquafina's character is more like she's nebbishy and awkward. And I don't really see myself as that. So
you don't want Scarlett Johansson to play you at all?
That would be nice. I mean,
she could do it.
You know, if she's free.
Yeah. How about
I mean, you know, it's like she could always play Psylocke. You know, it's a white girl turning Asian. So there you go.
How about Ming-Na Wen?
Ming-Na Wen? Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, we could probably do that. You know, it's like as long as like she can go and get like very sarcastic or anything like that and just say shit for the sake of saying shit. I don't know.
Yeah, she's kind of got that in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before they changed her character this season. But yeah, she's kind of got that. Kat, how about you?
Well, if I can't pull off, you know, like living forever and playing myself, you know, I don't know. Rebel Wilson, maybe.
See, yeah. I didn't think Rebel Wilson. I thought what's the chick from Bridget Jones' Diary?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Renee Zellweger. Yeah,
Renee Zellweger. Yeah,
that's who I get for Kat.
I think Kathy Bates, because I just think Kathy Bates is a great actress. She can she has a wide range of fucking.
It's true.
Play. Like Fried Green Tomatoes, she played somebody that was very, 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 very. Her self-esteem was very low and very shy. And then she played Madame LaLaurie in fucking Coven, where she's this fucking bitch, you know, like racist bitch.
Whoever it is has to like cats, because I'm gonna pretty much die a crazy cat lady, so it's just a matter of time.
And of course, Zac Efron is Mike Golden.
Yeah, totally.
I'm surprised that you didn't go for Chris O'Donnell for all the inside jokes. Apparently, that's what everyone fucking thinks of me. It's like, Michael looks like Chris O'Donnell, and I'm like, I don't see it.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen?
Oh,
Yeah.
Please no. I'm not.
He's okay.
He's like, I'm gonna put it in my. Much like I'm going to put it in my will that is just not.
I'm going to the lawyer tomorrow, and I'm making sure that is there. If there is ever a biopic made about me, Seth Rogen is off the table. 100%.
What was his name? The guy who was in 21 Jump Street, the movie, not Channing Tatum, the other dude.
Oh, Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Well, I guess he could do Channing Tatum, but Channing Tatum would have to not work out for 2 months.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm getting back in shape. I have my push-up videos to prove it.
That's true. He's doing the push-up challenge.
Yeah, I'm glad he hasn't nominated me because it's not happening. That's
I flat out.
Barry, you've got too much stuff going on.
I think it was the first day he posted, and I flat out commented, "Do not challenge me. It will kill me, and that will be on you."
I tagged Chuck, and he sends me a message like the day after. He's like, "Look, man, I'm gonna level with you. I tried doing the push-ups. I did 2, and I face planted. I'm not ignoring you. I will get them done, but give me time."
I mean, for me, I did it, but I mean, the thing
it doesn't have to be 22 consecutive days, Chuck. Just 22 days over the course of your lifetime.
Yeah, no shit.
Honestly, what you can do to be a total bastard is just tell them, "Oh, you should do Pilates butt exercises. That's okay. Just do it every day. I'm pretty sure you'll be fine." And I actually started doing Pilates because I had shed a lot of weight because of my pancreatic tumor. It's out, and I don't have cancer, by the way. Just long and short.
Yay!
Congratulations.
I had to rearrange fucking everything. I mean, I digest fine. It's just they had to fucking change stuff around like fucking Operation or Legos. It's Operation and Legos. That's how it was.
100%.
Yeah, one of the things I dropped a lot of weight all of a sudden. So I decided, okay, well, I'm going to work out my booty, whatever. So I did these 2 Pilates exercises. And I'm like, oh, holy Christ, my ass. I would just type to one of my friends, "Fuck my ass," and he just started laughing, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, no, I did these Pilates exercises. They hurt, and I did spend a day as a break, and they're simple. You wouldn't think it, but after I was like, oh God, my ass burns.
I tell you this, I have this bacteria, and another weird thing. I don't know if you guys have been following my health journey on INDIE Radio. I have this Bactrim-resistant bacteria. It's it's MRSA, but then sometimes it's not. It's only MRSA when it's getting when it feels like a diva. But the doctor said, "Hey, here's the problem, Varian. We believe that your body could be possibly naturally producing it." That freaks the fuck out. It's what? What's happening now? So if that happens, I will do. He gave me some medication, and he was giving me a very high amount of I forget the medication. It might have been clindamycin, but oral antibiotics, but very harsh regimen of it. 3 pills 4 times a day.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Well, the first day I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then the next day I woke up and my stomach sounded like there was a basketball game going on inside. Oh, it was literally louder than if you go back about 3 weeks ago on INDIE, you could hear at one point my stomach actually. I'm like, whoa. So I was using the bathroom so often that again I'm like, fuck this. I'd rather the bacteria grow and fester and turn me into the fly.
You're like one of those poisonous skin lizards.
Yeah, I'd rather look. I'm not sitting on the toilet that often.
Just write a comic about yourself. It'll be fine.
If you're sitting there, you're just you want to stop. It won't stop. You can't do anything. Every 2 hours, I'm in the bathroom. I'm not taking those antibiotics anymore. No, my insurance is paid up. Shit, I'm good.
And for any of our new listeners who are just coming on, all of our podcasts are archived on YouTube.
Yeah.
And on the Roku, right? On
A Roku
the
TV.
Indie Volt channel on Roku TV.
Yep.
So you can go back and hear Varian's stomach rumbling
Mhm.
at any time at your leisure.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I'm not taking them now, so I couldn't no matter what I was eating.
Mm.
I'm just gonna eat fruit. I'm not gonna do anything to piss off the stomach gods. Nope.
Yeah.
It would find shit. It's like I'm just gonna destroy your cell fucking walls. Fuck you. You're gonna shit these out. And no, I'm not. Nope. And see, Christy will make a comic out of that now.
I remember. I mean, like when they rearranged my whole fucking like digestive system, I went through a period of that. They didn't give me antibiotics, but it was just like, yeah, it felt like that.
Yeah.
Like after a while, it was like, oh, we took your gallbladder out, we arranged everything, we cut your stomach in half, sewed everything onto your fucking small intestine. Have a great day.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, you might be diabetic, which I'm not, thank God. But it was they pretty much rearranged shit. I had like this big hill scar on my stomach, and I'm gonna tell you, it was just like for a while, I was like I was the thing that sucks about it is like you're not in sharp abdominal pain the whole time. It's just more annoying. Like it starts poking at your head, like, hey bitch, stay awake, even though you're not in pain, but it's just like your stomach's like it does not feel normal.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt, it doesn't feel upset, it's just not normal.
Yeah, you
And
can
then
feel
when
it.
you have gas pain or heartburn, that hurts too. Like you think gas pain and heartburn is like it hurts, and it does normally, but literally it feels like some big thing is like grabbing you really hard and you can't breathe. It's like really fucked up, and it's like that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question from Indie Volt Radio. It's dicey.
Go ahead.
Bring it on.
Well, good because you as females. I'm sad Lola isn't here to talk about it. Her computer will not start back up for her. But she says she's sits right over there. She guess she left.
Did she kick it?
Yeah.
Did she kick it? Because that's important.
She did not kick it. But one of the questions is hey, and this is from Susan. Susan, and she is calling in from she's from Iowa. And she says, I find it kind of amusing, guys, how all of the bad mouthing towards the comic industry, being full of pervs and people taking advantage of people, are women complaining about men. That's odd to me. Care to discuss? Men are perverts. Some of us can be very bad. That's all. That's pretty much it. I mean, I flirt. I used to flirt a lot more before I was married. Now I don't flirt at all. Now I just flirt with guys. It's really weird now. It's really weird.
Well, my wife won't let me flirt with pretty girls, so I mean, fuck it, why not?
Yeah. You know what's funny is that my wife, when I first met her, a friend of mine was crushing on her. He thought he liked her. I didn't. I was like, she's all right. And she thought that I was gay. So fooled her. Joke's on her, or is it?
Were you wearing that hat at the time?
And now you're celebrating your son's birthday.
Were you wearing that hat at the time?
No, I wasn't wearing the hat yet. No, she was. I thought that she would. I told her, I said, I could be playing a long game.
Yeah.
I could be playing a long game in there. I'm gonna wait until our 11th anniversary and be like, guess what, bitch?
By the way, dear,
I didn't like guys. It's just gonna watch.
Well,
see a shoe fly on my head. So,
I think women shouldn't be afraid to say, "You touch me, I will hurt you." That's it. Like the thing is that I think sometimes like it depends on it, because I've been sexually harassed too. So I mean, I'm not going to say, it's not just one solution. I mean, it depends on the person too. Like I've been very, very direct, like we're not doing this, and they said, okay, that's fine. But then there's other times where they just fucking didn't listen to me and they disrespected me, and so I had to punch one in the kidneys. Yes, that happened.
Oh yeah.
Grab my ass. So I mean, it's like this. I think for me, the approach is like be very assertive. Like, I don't like it when you do this. Stop. Like, you don't. try to be nice or anything. No, it depends. Like if it's a misunderstanding, it's a misunderstanding. It can be. I mean, again, I don't want to have absolutes here because every situation is different. But speaking from my experience, I'm like, you don't touch me there.
Mm-hmm.
Do not touch me there. I never say please if I want a person to observe it.
Yeah.
That's my personal rule. And some people, men and women, do not ask or say things assertively. Some. But then there are times where, yeah, like even if you said it, it's on the other person to say, okay, well, this makes this person feel uncomfortable. Not going to do it. Or if it's not something I can control, I better just go and limit my time with them or not talk to them anymore. Okay, problem solved. And the thing is that, with some of this, I think, I don't know, it's kind of weird. There is a difference between the sexes and there isn't, So I can only speak from my experience as a woman to say, be assertive first. And if they're not, then by all means, call them out, Like if you just say, like if they're kind of flirting with you, quote unquote, whatever, but they're starting to say inappropriate things, it's like, you need to back off. And if they don't, then yeah, definitely pull out the guns. Not really literally. Okay, guys. But you get what I mean?
No, we support the Second Amendment here.
I think
I actually did a firearms training course. That was fun.
It's good do.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound horrible.
Uh-huh.
This is gonna sound very bad, but and I'm not a sexual harasser. I'm not. I mean, but listen,
They all say
I need you guys to understand something. This is gonna come across as horrible. I'm prepared to take the heat. There's a ladder in which you can you feel like, hey, I think that I can flirt with that person, okay, and I think I can overstep these boundaries with that person, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I am terrified to overstep the boundaries with women who have 1,000-yard stare, who look like they've seen some shit, like Christy. And it's like, I don't even think I would tell Christy she dropped $1 if she was in front of me in line. I'd be like, excuse me, ma'am, I swear I wasn't looking at your ass. $1 dropped. Because I've seen guys try to flirt with girls and or women and it go horribly wrong. But in comic books, we do have a situation where guys or some guys and some women are using their power and their position to get the other person to do things for them, whether it be sexually, financially, and sometimes the flirting goes way too far. I had a bullpen at one point where I would not have a bullpen today if you offered it to me for free, because the ability for shit to go wrong there is just so high, and me to be responsible for it. No bullpen. Because I mean, we had a 15-year-old girl hanging out in our bullpen every day.
Mm-hmm. What?
And, yeah, well, she was the lady down the hall. She was her daughter, and she's like, "Could my daughter hang out down here with you guys? Because you're a bunch of artists, and she likes drawing." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I expected, when you tell me your daughter likes manga style drawing and everything, I was expecting, I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting a little, chubby faced, chick to come through and be, like a kid. I was not expecting Jessica Alba from Idle Hands. And I'm like, oh no, this is bad. I'm gonna get you a change. This is all wrong. And it was weird because artists were coming to the bullpen and they're like, "Hi," and I just watched these guys go over there and start talking to her like, "So what's your name? What's your favorite anime?" Oh. And I'm just sitting there watching. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna tell her.
So the mating musk of nerds like permeated the air. Is that what you're saying? I mean, I'm gonna be frank. Like, just sometimes it's like, it's interesting because like I think us women, and I'm probably gonna sound like weirdly metaphysical, like fucking sexual goddess here, but and I'm not trying to say sex and underage girls. Okay, please let me not say that. I'm not saying that, but it's like I think us women, we have to be conscious, not self-conscious, but conscious of like the power we have over guys in that way. Whether or not you want to argue with that is right or not, no matter who we are, we do have that. And I think men can have that over women. I'm just talking in the perspective of being a woman. So it's like, as a responsible person, you kind of have to know who you are. And it's hard at that age when you're young, you know, and some girls really milk it. And some girls are like, really, like for me, for the longest time, it's like, I was kind of a dullard to it. Like my dad said, oh, you're going to have all these guys like follow you around. Like, what? You know, like I wasn't even thinking about that. But as a kid, like as a young woman, like in my 20s, but it's just interesting. It's like a kind of a form of self-awareness. And again, it's not her fault that dudes were hitting on her. It's just like, guy sees pretty woman. Oh shit, pretty woman. I talk her. You know, you don't have to do that. I mean, like that guy that was hitting me up on Facebook, like in public, wanting me to be nasty to him in chat. I was like going, you know, there is nothing more stupid than a sex-starved human male in quarantine. I gotta say that. Like I've been hit up by other people that I've known, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know?
Yes. Just sit them on the pins. Just sit them. I like this one too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Another one of Christy's creations. Christy, they can check out all your stuff at horrortorstudios.com, correct?
Yeah, they can just click on the store link and it should take them to that store. It'll take credit card and everything. I usually ship within 1 or 2 business days, and it gets like domestically to people very easily. So the only thing that you may have to wait a little extra on was the Cove Thick pins, the pancreas tits, and the plague doctor, but they should be coming in very soon.
Pancreas tits.
I'm definitely going to have to read your book.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to
That is awesome.
cracking open my webtoon here because I'm all caught up in all of the series that I follow, and like the 2 big ones just that I follow just went on vacay. So I was like, damn, I don't have anything really to read, and now I do. So thank you.
Oh yeah, yeah, shit. Let me show you a picture of my tumor because that's the point of this book. It's in the 3rd book.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I called her Casey Anthony because the bitch tried to kill me.
See.
Yeah.
Did you just
Hang
say?
on. We gotta blow that up.
Right there, that green little fucker there. That was it. That the big fucking mass at the beginning. See, big fucking mass was the tumor. And
Christy, did you say that you called the tumor Casey Anthony?
Yeah, like one of my friends was like, did you name it? I said, I didn't know I was supposed to name the fucking thing, but it would just pop into my Anthony. She, you know, she's close to her. I mean, this thing's hosted. I mean, knowing like hosting this fucking thing. So I called it Casey Anthony.
I would like to ask, I mean, and that's because if you're overseas, Christy, you will ship overseas, correct?
Yeah, I will. I'll ship overseas.
I'm letting you guys know because we just had somebody write in about this.
What's our number? It's got to be higher now.
We're at 64 even.
There we go. Just keep track of that. That's a new record.
It's slowing up on reporting. It's slowing up real bad on reporting. So we'll see what happens. But I did have someone write in and say that their book. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to get back to the other question, but go ahead. Go ahead.
What someone said, they ordered a book and they got notification that the book was returned to sender because of content inside the book.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes, but Christy's gonna wrap the book 3 times, so they won't see it. She's gonna put it inside of. She's got special slip covers that say like the Holy Bible, and she'll send us. You know, just
still might not make it across some borders.
Fucking postal chain. Don't. Yeah. I'm not gonna do that. Like. It doesn't have dicks or anything, so that's fine. But you know, it's like
if somebody actually sits and reads it. They're at customs. They might get offended enough to send it back to you.
Sometimes, but it only happened one time that we know about. There's been someone wrote in and told us about. I didn't put it on the show this week. I was going to cover it next week, but I figured, just remember sometimes if you order books, there might be an issue with your country. Some countries have different laws. This particular book this person sent out only had one character. There was nudity.
But of course, she was shaped like a giant vagina. So
it had to go. It had to be.
I'm thinking maybe that would be an issue, like probably to India. India, I think, might have some censorship on that.
Yeah.
Hey, Pops, what's up?
Every country is different.
I know probably Iran or Saudi may have issues, like some of the Middle Eastern countries may have issue with
Probably Qatar.
Yeah.
I think UAE isn't bad. I think Kuwait is fine, but if you or Lebanon is okay, but like Saudi, I would say Saudi, Iran, obviously, Iraq probably.
Lebanon ain't necessarily okay today.
Yeah, Lebanon might not be accepting any mail.
Yeah, amen.
Well, yeah, they have that kind of thing called the big.
And they might be looking at their postal packages a lot closer from now on.
A lot closer.
Yeah, no shit.
From what I heard, the one in Beirut, like, because my friend's parents are near there, I messaged them. They're fine, but the thing is that they think it might have been either a fireworks factory. I've heard some reports, or explosives.
If it was a fireworks factory, it would have probably been a whole different looking explosion.
Boom, all at once.
Well, I looked at another angle of it. Angle of it, and it was, I think, some sparks flying, what kind of looked like fireworks. Okay. But then I did see then the massive one happen. And what I just thought was interesting is watching that first cloud shoot out like a sonic boom, and the people weren't, even watching on video, you weren't hearing that until it passed overhead, which is really scary. Speaking of stuff that I'm really upset about, Michael Olton dropped some art into my.
That was the whole purpose of me coming here, and Chrissy, I was just had such a blast listening to Chrissy that I was like, wait, I am here for a reason.
Michael, this is a piece of art for the new Pyramid Gambit book.
So we just wrapped up the 0 issue of Elysian Fields. The campaign closed. We made we did 8,829, which was think about what we've accomplished kind of deal. And and so we're already hard at work with the next book, and so now that the campaign is closed, I've got the second print of everything is going to be coming in here soon. I'm getting in touch with the printer and what have you. We're finishing fulfilling the first wave with the international. I sent all the international guys out today, and a few of the domestic books that got sent back to me because of issues with addresses. And then Katrina, as I said, I sent yours here today as well, because fuck Nick Gibson, hashtag fuck Nick Gibson, and
hashtag not even in his dreams.
Point is that yesterday we launched the pre-campaign mailing list on Indiegogo for the follow-up to our 0 issue Pyramid Gambit, which continues our story in the Abyssal Tournament of Champions. And so I sent Varian one of the variant covers that is being done by the very talented Kevin Sharp from the Dragon Guard Indiegogo, and will also be colored by his colorist from the same project, Alonso Espinoza. Varian, pull it up.
All right, there we go. There it is.
Wow.
I really like that art. Yeah. I think that looks really good. Now, that's a variant cover. Are you going to be doing the chrome look to this one, or is that going to be?
Probably not. The next book is going to be a full-on like trade paperback square bound style. So like each one of the book is going to have almost 60 pages of story. And then we're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff. There is going to be a special cover on the next book. And so what we are going to be doing is we're going to be doing a limited print hardcover run that collects the 0 issue and the Pyramid Gambit and has an art gallery. And the cover art for that is being done by the very talented Scott Rosema.
Yeah,
nice.
Good old Scott Rosema.
Yeah,
nice to see you helping the out of work get a job. No, I'm just kidding.
he's a great dude. He's also redesigning our logo, and so I'm really excited for that.
That artwork reminds me of like "Now You're a Man," that song.
Show it, Randy.
That's amazing. It's a good piece. It's a great piece. I just like thinking, "Now you're a man, a man." That one.
I think that it's Garrett's coming.
Mark Hodges says the Beirut explosion was 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate that was stored unsupervised in a warehouse for over 6 years.
Yeah, I was about to say like I was thinking it was
Thanks,
either
Mark.
going to be something like that or an ammunition depot that had like that people just forgot about.
What I heard earlier was that it was something like in 2014 that had been like taken in a port raid.
Yeah,
and then stored and just left.
Forgotten about. Yeah,
that's nuts. Like, my friend's parents are his mom is white American, his dad is Lebanese, and he was saying like when he was visiting relatives, they have fucking AKs and fucking grenades and shit in the basement.
Oh yeah, everyone got, like I deployed to Qatar for like a year, and it's crazy the shit that you can see over in that. Like I think the craziest thing to me is there's like in Qatar there's a massive gap between like you have very rich people and very poor people, and like there's no real in between. And so like you'll be on the highway and you'll see like abandoned Porsches and stuff like that, and it's like, what's wrong with the car? Oh, I just ran out of gas. It's just like,
fuck it.
Serious? Oh yeah, I just bought a new car, had it delivered to me. And I went,
I decided I wanted a red one.
I got bored, I just bought it last year. Now I'm kind of tired of it. Fuck it.
It was last year's model. I had to get next year's.
Maybe the door handle snapped off and they got momentarily trapped.
I'm just like, wow.
Not that happens to people.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I think that that particular if someone, can you imagine someone doesn't like I'm just gonna desert this car. How rich you must be.
Like how
this Porsche.
I just like left my Porsche like a piece of trash just because it like fucking ran out of gas. And like, what?
Yeah. I although I might do that. I mean, I'm trying to
get a car to do that. I couldn't get that mad at a car to walk away from it at any time unless it was just like a really bad car. Like a money pit car. I could walk away from a money pit car. But
I bought this Ford driver returns on foot. Fuck this. I'm just gonna leave it on the side of the fucking road.
You bought a what?
Ford. Like they have that thing, those acronyms like driver returns on foot. Fiat has another one or some shit.
Found on the road dead.
Ford was fix or repair daily.
I think that was it. I also heard backwards driver returns on foot. I'm like,
there's a bunch. Fucked over retarded Dodge. There's a whole bunch.
Let's see. I forgot what it was. Forgot what was Fiat, but it was something about like. It was something effing Italian, automated something. It was bad. And I remember because I messed with my wife about it. It's like Fiat.
It's always
so much for our car sponsor.
Yeah, so much for our car.
Our car sponsorship is done.
You always got Chevy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I like Chevy, but I also have a Chevy and I have a Chrysler, so it's but I have minivans, so I'm.
Don't you love that?
I like Chevy till I got trapped in mine.
Now,
that never happened.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, anyway.
Now, Pops,
it were to have happened.
Yeah, Pops
right.
Over here. Yeah,
Pops, you have you're in
Raj. Raj has it.
Yeah. But Raj is doing his best to push that book over. Where needs to be funded.
$52 away from funding right now.
Yeah,
you're halfway to the mark of the devil. You're 333.
No, we're $52
fully funded
from funding right now.
Oh, good for you.
You guys pledge right now, then Raj will come out. He's doing his launch party over there, and he's trying to get that last $52. If he gets it, then he wants to come out here so he can announce funding. But we need everybody to, we need a couple more people. Just hit it, bang, bang. We got that connecting cover with Travis Gibb and Luke Stone, the Voodoo Nation. Awesome connecting covers that we did with those guys. Man, this
trickery.
Be disappointed.
Trickery. That means I want the whole cover. I have to support Travis. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to support Travis.
I'm just kidding. We tolerate Travis. No, he's okay. That is a cooler concept, though. I have the joining covers. That is pretty cool. And you are just a couple hours away from completing that. Now, I will say this. Imagine if someone... Are you guys doing the same printer?
What do you mean?
You know of Mojo Rising?
I think those, just the connecting covers are the same print.
Okay. Because could you imagine if it's not and if it's off-centered? Oh, my goodness. I'm going to drag everybody.
We're not taking
soul drag them. Are you going to soul drag them across the pavement?
Yeah. Oh, I'm talking shit with everybody. Oh my god.
You know how we are about quality around here.
Yeah, I do. And it's all Gemini, and it's all straight up. First 50 backers from the comic related madness get an awesome print that will show off when Raj gets out here. First 50 regular backers get a set of Mardi Gras beads, of Mojo Rising Mardi Gras beads. They got all kinds of cool stuff. I haven't even had a chance to look at the Kickstarter yet because I've been out here talking about it all night. This is like my third appearance on a show tonight. So,
if you guys want that's over there at Mojo Rising on Kickstarter.
I'll drop in the private chat. You can show it off. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, let me do that. I'm thinking with my books, it's actually better if they just come dirty and mishandled because it is Demon Bitch.
Oh, we're $21 from backed. $21 from funding. One more cool pledge, man, and we're in, dude. I'm so excited. That's been an hour. Thank you all, man. No doubt.
Yeah, so $1,479 of $1,500 goal. Now, I do think that let's see, there it is. And they have to cut. They've got the interiors done already.
This is everything except lettered. That's the only thing that's not done on the first book, and they're halfway through writing and probably halfway through the art of the second book already. Oh, who was that?
That guy looked familiar.
Yeah,
I wonder where he's from.
Dude, this is so awesome seeing this, man. I've been waiting for this for months. This was supposed to launch in April.
The answer to your question, Michael, is the best state ever.
No, that's not where I'm from. I'm not from the best state ever. Trust me, that was the first one that burned. I'm really disgusted with where I'm from, if you want to know the truth. But, there it is. Look at that. That's beautiful. Oh.
I do think that people can go over there and they are shipping that one.
No, it's not for what. I'm going to tell you why we didn't go worldwide with this right now. Because we didn't want people's books sitting on a dock in Sydney for the next 6 months. And not knowing what they're going to get charged or, not shipping being what it is. It's like we did the PDF for the worldwide audience now, but there will be more, we're going to print more as people need it. It's like we're definitely not just printing the Kickstarter. We're going Indiegogo. It's not. We're going to make sure that it can go out to the worldwide audience, but preferably when the shipping in the world goes back to some kind of semblance of normalcy. I don't want people to pay $35 for the book just to get it to you. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. So get the PDF now. Get the PDF now. You'll love it, and we will make it available worldwide in a print form.
That international shipping is no joke, especially as you were saying. Like I know that for Elysian Fields, it was like for everyone in like mainland Europe, it was around $24 per. It is no joke. So like we
are funded. And we are funded.
Pops, you're funded, Pops.
Yeah, I fucking threw some in there, dude.
And that international, fortunately, that international shipping price is not going to go down.
No, not at all.
So happy I'm going to see this book happen, man.
I do think that $1,582. You were here when it happened. Mojo Rising, Darkness Rising, issue number 1 is funded. It's only been up for a couple of hours, so
no, it's been up for 49 minutes, bro.
49 minutes, okay, 49 minutes. So
hell yeah. Not even an hour to get funded. Congrats, man. I'm so happy for you.
Boy. Woo. I had to go grab me a shot of Jaeger, y'all. Hold on.
It's funny when you do a Kickstarter, because I've done a few of them. It's like after you fund, you like, oh God,
Yeah,
Like,
you just kind of melt.
yeah, because all that fucking tension's like, oh my god, I got a fund.
When we got funded on Indiegogo, I cried on camera for a little bit. I was on Mandy Summers' show, and she was like, we're gonna keep you on until you hit it. You're so close. And I hit the 7K. I was like, I need to go for like 5 minutes.
I just need to step off camera for a second.
I would
ugly cry right now. I'm gonna ugly cry like fucking right now. Oh my god.
I would like to think that if you're on a show, never mind.
David Galliano says, "Congrats, Pop! Congrats."
No, congrats, Raj, man. For me, it's just I'm just in it, man. It's them guys. It's Raj,
says,
man.
"Congrats,
Greg,
Pops."
You know, it's them guys, man. I'm just a character in this thing, dude. For me, it's just a rush.
And for our radio listeners out there, you can find that on Kickstarter under Mojo Rising.
Yep, and
it'll pop right up. They are now officially funded.
Yeah, I think there's a PDF on there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. If you're not in the country, you can get the PDF, which is cheaper than shipping.
It comes with the PDF comes with free shipping.
Yeah.
If you
no
like
shipping handling.
Yeah, just really sell that.
if you like the story, we'll make sure that at some point it'll be available for everybody to get a hard copy of it. You know, I mean,
Matt Knowles says Pops Van Zandt is the man. Unadulterated promo machine right there.
I read that so wrong.
I don't even want to know, Kat.
I didn't. That didn't say promo to me.
Remember, we're TVMA, DLSV.
And
L stands for language. Take your time.
I want to thank everybody right now. We are at 66,200.
Woo!
Thank
we
you,
love
guys.
you all over the world. Thanks so much for listening.
Let's go through and find out where everyone's from because it's about time for us to get out of here, Randy.
Alrighty.
So we'll start.
Hold on. Raj is coming out. He's coming out.
Well, we got to try to keep it at 2 hours, just about. But
yeah, well, I told her. He knows. He's like, he's fixing to. I was like, now get out here. So, you know.
You know what that means.
Drop the taco. Get in the car.
Which a lot of people
not dropping my damn tacos today. I don't know what the deal is. It's like the second time today she told me to drop the taco, and I'm like, "Fuck you."
I would be like, "How about this? I have no clue who you are, and I have a taco. Fuck you, eating my taco and walking away."
I know who she is. She's
letting David know in the chat. Yes, we did do a Connect cover with Voodoo Nation. It's in that Kickstarter there. They got one up. We got one up. It's only 10 days. When Voodoo Nation's campaign dies, when theirs is over, you can't get that connecting cover no more. You got 10 days. That's it.
10 days.
Also, we want to thank. We talk about shipping a lot. We want to thank our one of our sponsors, Stamps.com.
Matt says Pops Van Zandt, unadulterated promo and porno machine. Better than Trainer Roach.
Yeah, that is exactly the word I thought I saw.
And now,
wow.
And now that we've done all of that, let's thank Stamps.com.
Yeah, Stamps.com, one of our sponsors. Who, we talked about people shipping correctly and knowing that they have to ship. The cool thing about Stamps.com, I use it. We actually are able to make packages here in our home, and from the Stamps.com user interface, request a mailman the next day, very early tonight. I think I got like to 2-3 o'clock in the morning to request a mailman the next day to come and to my house to pick the packages up. So it's very awesome for lazy people like me, or if you're in a situation like me where the post office decides they want to close whenever they want. Nothing's worse than going to the post office and finding out they're closed when you got like 8 or 9 packages from paying customers that need to go out. You can check us out. You can check stamps.com out, and for a very limited time, I'm not sure if they got it set up right now, but you'll be able to type in stamps.com/indievolt, and you'll be able to get a free month of the service, which is pretty cool. And they'll give you some other little perks. I've got Stamps.com. I got a scale for free. I've got they gave me the paper, the different types of labels that I could use for free. So we definitely want to thank them.
And that was before they became sponsors, right?
That was before they became sponsors. Now that they're
Absolutely.
sponsors, there isn't anything for free, but they are sponsors. We want to thank them, and we also want to thank our other sponsor, Privacy.com. Privacy.com is a credit card based company, virtual credit cards. If you want to crowdfund comics, or maybe you're a little afraid to put your known credit card out there, well, you can use Privacy.com. All you gotta do is upload cash to your card, basically your online card, and you can use it to fund all these glorious comics with no fear of Kickstarter or Indiegogo being hacked and your information being out there on the dark web being used by people to order flights to
That's privacy.com.
Yeah, Privacy.com.
Yep.
And they'll be giving us a / indie mode as well. And we don't have our taco ad yet, Randy.
I want to throw
Have who? What?
We don't have our taco ad yet.
Drop the taco. Get in the car.
Yeah, we don't have our taco ad yet, but they haven't sent it over. But when they do, we'll be putting them up there too. So
we love them.
But in their case, it's grab a taco.
It's grab a taco.
Yeah, you don't want to drop those tacos. They're delicious.
Yes.
If you have a hard time finding
You don't drop those. No.
if you have a hard time finding it, it's in the Comic Related Madness. And get your mojo on is the hashtag attached to this book. Hashtag get your mojo on.
We
Who is this? What the heck?
Who are these crazy characters?
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, man. Sorry we're late.
Applause.
We wanted to fund before we come on.
Yeah, we wanted to come on here and say, hey, we funded tonight within an hour.
Yeah.
You guys rock.
That's
Good for
crazy.
you.
That's awesome.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my goodness.
You see, now the problem is now you gotta hurry up and put the book out. People get mad. Oh my book.
Yeah.
Well, they still have 30 days to wait.
Yeah.
Man, what a tease.
That's not as people are. They don't wait. They're like, no, I want to read their book.
What a tease. Now we gotta wait. I got.
I've got nothing to drink.
I'm still working on my Fago sponsorship here. I figure
There you go.
if I drink it every podcast, I get it.
That shot right there, that was my last shot of Jaeger.
Hey guys, sorry you came on so late. We'd have pushed you more, but we are hitting that 2:00 or that 2 hour mark, and we really need to run before YouTube starts castrating us. So.
We just wanted to pop in and say thank everybody.
Yeah, we want to have you guys back on and talk a little bit about the book.
We definitely will. We'll have you back on and push the book.
I want them to know that a couple of people here in this here panel probably helped push you over the edge, and one of them might even be the one.
We know you did.
Somebody won something. I just
you
want
usually
you
push
guys to
everybody
know
over the edge, Pops.
There you go.
All right. Anyway, we need to go around the room real quick and let everybody know, especially our radio audience, how they can find your stuff.
Go ahead.
What it is, where they can find it.
We'll let Mojo start first.
Go, Raj.
Mojo, speak it up.
Oh, Outlaw Studio on Instagram and Mojo Rising Comic Series on Facebook.
Third Empire Comics or Third Empire 2020 on Facebook.
Pops, anything to push?
Comic Related Madness. We push it all. You know that. But I'm telling you this right here. Go get you some mojo, man. Go down there and get some of that from these guys. Look, it's a fun book. I haven't read it. I can't tell you. I know it's going to be a fun book. I know that they've already built a rogue gallery. They're going forward. It's going to be good.
It's going to be a fun book because you're in it.
Well, you probably you get whooped on.
I mean, yes.
If you want to see me get whooped on, if that's, for people that don't like Pops, this is your book.
Somebody's going to order two. Kat, where can they find you at, ma'am?
You can find me at catsclimbingalloverme.com or Cat Scratch.
You shouldn't say that. That's going to take them to a porn site.
No, sorry. I preemptively apologize. CatScratchPress.com. Katrina Rotes on Facebook. Life with Katie on Instagram. And you can find my book, Tales from the Toy Store, which if you're watching the video, you can see Pops holding up there. You can find that on Amazon.
Amazon, that's Amazon. Tales from the Toy Store.
Written by Katrina Rotes, Roets. And then Michael.
Yes.
Yep.
Which one?
Michael Odin.
Where are we going to find you, Michael?
You can find me on Twitter and Facebook. On Twitter, you can find us at @ElysianFields_0. On Facebook, Michael Odin or Nine Realms Publishing. We just started the Indiegogo pre-campaign for Elysian Fields, The Pyramid Gambit. Subscribe to the mailing list, and you will get an exclusive print by exclusive
an artist.
Yeah, by an artist, Joe Tolliver from the amazing Comics Cast news everything.
Somebody's mic is getting real choppy here.
Wow, Travis Gibbs is in the chat. He said grats, and he said Mojo has already beaten any book that he has done. It has a Varian Grant back.
Yeah, that's when you know you made it.
There's a Varian Grant
Well,
back.
you know what? You know what?
That's when I know I have made it. When Varian backs you, okay.
And Jim, hey Jim O'Reilly.
Jim says hi. We're just walking out the door. Jim, thanks for coming.
Hi and bye, Jim.
Christy, let us know where we can find you.
HorrorTourStudios.com. You can get signed copies of Demon Bitch and shitty pins and everything. www.HorrorTourStudios.com. I put it down there. And I'll also have my social media of Instagram and Twitter at HorrorTourStudios.com. I have different ones of Demon Bitch, but you can go on my website and you can follow each of them.
Could you hold the books up one more time?
Hold it up.
Hold the books up one time. There they go.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Look at that.
All these wonderful people can be found in the comic-related net.
Oh, fuck.
Whoops. That's okay. Sweet. Yeah. Hey.
Well, she's being a seriously uncooperative bitch. Look at just falling out of your hand.
Oh, I'm sorry, she overdosed.
Of course, everybody. You can email us any questions you have at IndieVoteLive@IndieVote.com. Include IndieVote Live in the subject, and please keep those emails to 90 words or less. And remember, no questions too big, too small, too stupid, too bizarre, or pretty much you can message us anything. Randy loves.
If it's got to do with comics, if it's got to do with media, genre media at all, feel free to write us in, ask us a question. Because remember, our feedback will be better because of your setback. Hashtag get an education. Hashtag Indie Vote. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Go ahead.
And the people who are listening right now, we are sitting at 68,505.
68.
And live on Indie Vote Radio, which you can do that too by downloading Indie Vote Radio on your Google Play, on your phone, tablet. Also on iOS, downloading the streaming app. You're going to type in Indie Vote Radio to find it. And then Indie Vote Radio is also accessible through your Alexa. So check that out there too. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, music and comic book talk. It is the best channel out there ever, the best radio station ever. And then if you're looking for us on TV, that's easy too. IndieVote TV on Roku and Roku-enabled televisions and devices. IndieVote TV is completely free. It's over-the-top streaming, just like Disney Plus or Netflix, just independent content and some exclusive stuff that we don't get a chance to put on YouTube and Facebook because they pull us. So we have it there on IndieVote TV. Check that out. Some original content coming soon to that platform as well. Until then, though, Randy.
Yes.
Geek Gasm tomorrow night at 9. A couple of guests on there. I forget who's all in there tomorrow night, but 9:00 p.m.
Art of War.
I know Kat and Lola. Art of War is moving. There'll be some announcement about Art of War. It's moving days. So we'll have some information on that very soon as well.
Okay. And then we'll be back Thursday morning with Indie Vote Live with the Breakfast Buzz at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then back here again on Tuesday at 9 p.m. For the regular Indie Vote podcast. That's also Eastern Standard Time. You can find me on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. You can find Varian wherever he's at.
Yeah, Varian Grant, KYD_V on Twitter, Last Call Comics, or IndieVote.com. Find us there, IndieVote.com, IndieVote.nl, IndieVote.ca.
And hey, everybody out there at Indie Vote Radio, we appreciate you listening. We deeply appreciate you all. Spread the word. Let us know that we're there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and hit that bell for notifications on the Indie Vote channel. We're still not. Our numbers, our radio numbers are awesome, but our YouTube numbers, especially subscribers, are really low, and we need to boost those up so that we can get them over 1,000 and get monetized, and then really have to worry about the content of this program.
Yeah.
So, all you guys hang on after we go out. We'll talk more off camera, but right now we really have to sign off. Or
On
else,
behalf of those guys down there, I appreciate everybody.
we appreciate everybody being here. You're all congratulations, and it's all good. And we hope to see you all back here soon, shortly. You want me to take us out?
I got it.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you sure?
Yep, I got it. Here we go.
I can take it.
It's funded in
Wrong week. Quit sniffing glue.
an hour.